if you're still relying on just using one particular marketing channel to grow your business, then unfortunately that doesn't work anymore. And it's been proven by companies such as Google, and they call this the 7-11-4 method. That's probably not the best way to put those characters, but here we are. So look, the 7-11-4 method, this basically just means that Google have done a lot of research to determine what actually makes somebody go from someone who's never heard of you before to someone who is a buyer. And they've said that that is 7 hours of consuming content. So that's anything from watching YouTube videos like you're doing now, or even short form content like YouTube Shorts or Instagram, or long form content, even audio such as listening to podcasts, or even reading if that particular person has a book out, whatever it may be. And then this is over 11 different touch points. So again, that could be someone visiting your website. It could be then being retargeted again to visit your website from another source. It could be getting an email if they're on your email list. There's a whole load of ways that you can actually have someone interact and being a touch point. And that's over 4 different channels essentially, okay? So like I said, YouTube, Instagram, podcasts, books, whatever it might be at all, okay? So that is the 7-11-4 method. Now, look, some of you out there might say, well, to consume 7 hours of content, like I don't even have 7 hours of content. And look, for some businesses, that may be okay depending on what you do, but we're going into a world now where that's changing rapidly. And to be honest, I can't think of a single example of a business where that doesn't make sense anymore. Now, I'm specifically more so kind of talking B2B here, let's say. Of course, you can walk into a cafe you've never heard of before and of course buy a coffee, and you are a buyer, you are a customer there straight away. This is more so for people who are businesses that would refer to themselves, refer to their buyers as clients, okay? So there needs to be some sort of rapport built with them, and that's essentially what this is. This is just trust building here, okay? So let's look at an example of how this might work. And I'm going to give a very meta example as well, okay? And that's not doing also the best job of removing any of this on the board either. Let me just be a bit more aggressive. That doesn't really seem to be working either. Let me try a different eraser. Maybe I need to clean this whiteboard because nothing here seems to be coming up. Look, let's just roll with it regardless. So, tell you what I'll do. I'll just actually flip the board around. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? So we can start clean again. So, let me flip the board around and give you an example of what I'm talking about. So, let me use a different marker. Maybe that marker is causing issues for some reason now. It never used to before. So, let's say, for example, that I'm going to use a very meta example here. You are currently this person here, okay? And you are now currently watching a YouTube video. Okay, so let's say that in this particular YouTube video, I say to you, if you want to learn how to grow in other multiple channels, so you have the 7-11-4 working for you in the background, then click the link in the description, okay? So you click that link, let's just draw a link here. And let's say that goes then to an email list, okay? So you're in then the email list, and then once you're in that email list, you get more content from me saying, what is it exactly that you're interested in? What are you actually trying to grow? What do you do? And then based on that, I can then put you into a particular category in the email marketing side of things. And I can say, oh, you're interested in this or that or whatever it might be. Well, we actually have a whole YouTube playlist based on that. So again, we have the YouTube playlist, and I'm not doing the best at drawing anything today or writing anything today. But again, you get the idea of what I'm going for here. So again, we put that up here, and then because this is a playlist, it's not just one particular video, it's a bunch of videos, which can immediately ramp up that 7 hours. Now that 7 hours, of course, may not be in a full day. It could be over time. I may say to you, check out this one particular video. But then again, the next day, I could say to you, again, if we go back up here, I could send you an email saying, hey, I've just released this video. Based on what you said previously, I think you'd be very interested in this. So again, you go here, it's more hours consumed, it's more touch points happening. Again, there's a lot that's going on here as well, okay? And then you just keep going and going and going. And the whole idea here is just consistency, okay? So if you keep building out your YouTube videos, if you keep building out short form content on different channels as well, if you keep emailing your list every day, if you keep updating all these different things, if you keep being consistent, that 7-11-4 happens essentially in no time. Now, we also live in a day and an age where, because of YouTube, depending on when you have, let's say, more than 100 videos on your channel, that essentially allows you to become part of binge city, what I would call it. And that basically means that when someone does find you and they interact with your content, they go, oh, this person, they know what they're talking about, they will then just automatically consume all that. So there's actually ways that you can skip a lot of this as well. this is for not only people who are interacting with a lot of your content, but even for the people who've just interacted the first time, they can go here. If they haven't gone here after the first time, which again, most people probably won't, to be fair, because you haven't built up enough trust at this stage, but they keep watching, then they click the link and then they're part of this list. So again, the customer journey is going to be different for everybody. So it's not exactly a 7-Eleven for every single person who you're going to interact with, who's potentially going to become a client. It's going to be a complete mixture, but the 7-Eleven side of things is just kind of even though Google are saying that that's what they've determined it takes, I actually would say that it's different for every single business out there, because every single business is different, every single way that they make content is different, every single way that their audience interacts with that content. And even, for example, every single person who does interact, their lives are different. And because of that, they have different amounts of time that they can give to something like this. Their pain points are at different levels as well. So someone who has a bit more pain is obviously going to be seeking out this more. They're going to learn, well, how do I fix this more? It's bothering me. I want to actually get in touch with somebody who can resolve this for me. So again, everybody is different. But so I would say that the 7-Eleven it's not like exactly... it's not an exact science, but it's something that you should most certainly 100% go on. So look, that is everything in regards to the 7-Eleven. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm just saying that you need to be an omnipresent situation here. You can't just rely on one particular channel anymore. Like if it was, for example, that you're relying on outbound, don't get me wrong, outbound works fantastically, but when someone does go from outbound to raising their hand saying, yes, I'm interested, tell me more, they'll again either go to your website. As I said, they can be retargeted. You can have YouTube videos on your website. You can have articles on your website. So again, they're going through that reading section instead, and the reading might take 10 minutes, or it could be 10 minutes of a video. There's loads of different ways that you can do this. So if it is something that you do want a bit of a hand with, you can check out the first link in the description.